not like me, but you see, I don't care. I love America. I love the Republic. And I know that Jewish communism is the internal enemy of we, the United States of America, and we, the people. Because the people smell a rat, and it's a two-legged rat, and it's a Jew communist rat inside of America. Before you can really understand sometime what is really going on around you, you've got to go back into history, the time, the place, the pictures, and the events thereof, to understand what's really going around you now. The Ukraine had a record harvest. They had so much food, they didn't know what to do with it. But they couldn't have any, because the Jews wouldn't let them eat it, and they starved 9 to 10 million Ukrainians to death when they had food all around them, and if the Ukrainians tried to eat any, they were either clubbed to death, bayoneted, or shot to death. And Stalin took the food and the other leaders and they sold it on the world market to make money. If you wore a cross, you died. If you were caught with the Bible, you were put to death. And then they even tried to force the white Christian Russians to speak Yiddish for 2 years, trying to make it that language of white Russia. The Germans knew all about this secret Holocaust, and they didn't want it to happen to them. And what happened in White Russia, the White Russians were partial Prussian German. And that was their ancestors that these Jews did it to. This was the greatest Holocaust that you can imagine, second only to the Holocaust in the United States of 50 million aborted babies. And they are planning the same identical overthrow and genocide in the United States as they did against the white Christian Russians in 1917. But they just haven't got the guns yet. Lock and load. Suck it up. We have an enemy in the land. And they will not take this nation. So help me God. They gave you Jewish chancellors, and they put Jews in all the universities, and they put Jews in your high schools and elementary schools to go right back and teach the same Jewish communism that was being taught before the German Reich, and the German people rose up to take their country back. Isn't it ironic how the Jews are nothing but thieves, liars, and murderers, just like Yahweh the Christ said they were in John 8:44, that they were not of God in John 8:47, but they were of the devil and Satan himself. The Jews are the communists. The Jews are the Antichrist. The Jew is the Christ murderers. Did not they say, the Jew, let his blood be upon our children, on us and our children forever. Yes, they did. And it's very interesting, isn't it, as we discuss and we concern ourselves with all these things. So what they did is they turned around and they made the people think that Germany was unified again as a German republic, which is a figment of your imagination. And they put German chancellors now, like Merkel and Juncker and the rest of these filthy Jew swine, over the German people to keep them suppressed under their thumb. And they brought in, and what they did is they brought in homosexuality, abortion, pornography. And they put such taxes on the German people through the European Union, which was created by Jews, where you couldn't afford to have children. You couldn't afford to own a home. And then they invaded you with millions of mongrels from North Africa and the Mideast. After World War II had ended in Germany, they rounded up much of the women and girls, forced them into the subways, and turned the Mongolian troops of the Soviet Union to rape them and plunder them and kill them. Wake up, Germany! Germany. It's the Jews, stupid. Wake up, Sweden. They're doing the same to you. It's the Jews, stupid, and your traitors in high office. Wake up, America. It's the Jews, stupid, and that faggot queer in the White House.
Right.
That communist diaper baby. And his key advisor, Valerie Jarrett. And the Jews in the Congress and the Senate. A bunch of faggots and homosexuals. Communists who want to disarm the people. Now do you Germans know why you're not allowed to have weapons? Why you've got to go and jump through hoops to try and get a weapon? Why they will not arm you again? Because you are the royal tribe of the house of Israel, the man. It is unusually very hard to get an honest answer from a politician. After all, many of them spend their entire careers lying, just so they can earn large amounts of money by doing nothing at the taxpayer's expense. However, once in a while, the truth shines out from beneath all those lies like a needle in a haystack. And this is one of those very rare times. Sigmar Gabriel, the kike, the Jew, is the Vice Chancellor of Germany, and right behind the Jew bitch Merkel in terms of power. From this video and in a recent protest, Gabriel openly gives the middle finger to a group of protesters who are calling him a communist, and he's selling out his nation and people to the Muslims. In other words, he's saying, F you Germans! We Jews will do what we want. You're nothing but lab rats. We have control of your money through the Deutsche Bank, the central bank of Rothschild. We tell you what to do and how to do it. If we tell you to go take a crap, you better ask us what color we want. Wake up! Rise up! Sweden, Norway, Denmark, England, Germany, Italy, Greece, White Spain, America! Wake up against these Jew taskmasters. There you have it. This is what your politicians really think of you. They do not care about your concerns. They do not care about your families. They do not care about your children. The only thing they care about are themselves. They are traitors of the worst order, destroyers of nations, enemies of life itself. If evil had a human face and name, you are looking at it right now, Junker the Jew. These are the same people who are letting Muslims in to sodomize your boys and rape your girls. So please. These are the same people who are saying that you need to subsidize their unproductive, lazy habit. These are the same people who are saying that you have to surrender your society, your culture, to these 7th century throwbacks, these 3rd and 4th world animals. So you see, I have come here today to give you truth. In the name of Yahweh the Christ, the Almighty Father, the living Father. Emmanuel, God with us, and who we are as a people. It is time for our people to rise up against this unholiness, this communist antichrist. You had best rise up, or there isn't going to be anything to rise up to. There will be no lies from up this speaking pulpit. There will be no lies on a racial connotation to our people who is being demagogued, who is being raped, who is being plundered, who is being stepped on, squashed on. Aren't you tired of seeing the filth you're being forced to live in? And meanwhile, the U.S. suffered because the Jewish-controlled central bank created the Depression in the 20s on the United States, even in England and France. And the people were in despair. They had no jobs. They had no money because the Jews made a mistake and they tried to take over every country in the world through their corrupt banking system, which is owned by the Rothschild family, the Jew. And they're making a move now for it again. But the climax to this presentation, not only did they destroy all these wonderful things that the Third Reich and the German people themselves did, now they're coming to destroy you as a people through miscegenation of mongrel invasion of your land. Don't you recall that the Christ, Yahweh the Christ himself said to the Jews in John 8:31, he was speaking to the Jew, he said, I am of my Father which art in heaven, with a capital F. He said to the Jews, you are of your father, with a little f, which is from beneath, in hell itself. Yahweh the Christ wasn't a Jew, he was the Almighty Father. Emmanuel, the living God.
You will not replace us! 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 You will not replace us!
The American people, especially the nationalists, have awoken to their lies they have perpetrated to the American people. They don't believe the controlled media anymore. That's why they're going to the alternative news in the computer system. Nationalism is live and well in America. And if they think if they're going to riot in the streets in the United States of America with their millennials and all these other college dodos out here, and all of them should be carrying a can't-fix stupid wrench in their pocket, these college students today, because they're so dingy in the head from being taught communist socialism by their Jewish communist professors, all right. And it is the same Jew species in all of the white nations that have gutted out our nation, destroyed our sovereign currency, encouraged mongrelization of the race, have turned our women into whores and our white men into bums. And it is the same Jews that have brought forth their socialistic communism into the universities of all white nations of the world. There is no honor with the Jew. He destroys nationalism. He destroys honor. He destroys dignity. You other people in Germany, you white nationalists, in Sweden, Norway, Belgium, England, Ireland, Scotland, France, Italy, Greece, wherever you are, Hungary, wherever you are, you white Europeans, you stand fast mentally and physically. Protect and bring back the sovereignty of your